key still fits. That's the first surprise. I stand on the porch of my childhood home with 2 suitcases and a garbage bag full of clothes I couldn't fold properly, thinking about how pathetic it is that I'm 24 years old and moving back in with my parents. The job fell through. The apartment lease ended. My boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, kept the security deposit and the cat. I kept my dignity, barely, and a growing suspicion that I'm fundamentally bad at being an adult. Mom opens the door before I can turn the key all the way. She's smiling too wide, the way she does when she's nervous, and pulls me into a hug that smells like lavender detergent and something else I can't place. Something unfamiliar. "Sweetheart, we're so glad you're home." I want to correct her. This isn't home anymore. Home was the studio apartment in Portland with the window that faced the brick wall. Home was waking up to Connor's arm across my chest, even though he snored. This is just the place I'm staying until I figure out what comes next. Thanks, Mom. I drag my suitcase over the threshold. The wheels catch on the edge and I have to yank it. Very smooth. Very dignified. Dad appears from the kitchen, dish towel over his shoulder. There she is. The prodigal daughter returns. "I don't think I qualify as prodigal," I say. "I didn't blow my inheritance on anything interesting." He laughs and kisses the top of my head. I'm still short enough that he can do this without bending much. "Your room's all ready for you." Something in his voice makes me pause. A hesitation, maybe. Or guilt. Great. I gesture vaguely toward the stairs. "Actually," Mom says quickly, "we should talk first. Just for a minute. Come sit down." The living room looks the same. Same floral couch that Dad always threatened to replace. Same coffee table with the water ring from where I once left a glass overnight and got grounded for a week. Same framed photos on the mantel, tracking my progression from gap-toothed kid to awkward teenager to the version of myself I presented at college graduation, smiling like I had any idea what I was doing. They sit across from me, side by side, hands almost touching on the cushion between them. "So," Dad says. "So," I echo. Mom clears her throat. "We want you to know that you're always welcome here. This is your home no matter what." The "no matter what" hangs in the air like a threat. "Okay," I say slowly. Why does that sound like a setup for bad news? They glance at each other. Some silent married people communication passes between them. "Not bad news exactly," Mom says. "Just news. Change. Something we should have told you sooner, but we wanted to wait until it was official, and then with everything you were going through, the timing never seemed right." "What is it?" Dad takes over. "You know how we've always talked about fostering? How we felt like we had so much to give, and once you were grown we thought maybe we could help someone who needed it." I did know this. It was part of their identity almost. The parents who would have taken in every stray kid in the neighborhood if they could. Who let my friends crash on our couch when things were bad at their houses. Who donated to every youth charity that sent them a mailer. "You're fostering someone," I say. "Makes sense. It's the kind of thing they would do." "Not fostering," Mom corrects gently. "Adopting." "Oh, process this. Okay. That's great. Really. I'm happy for you. I mean it mostly. Sure, it's weird that they didn't tell me, but I've been gone for 6 years. I left for college and came back for holidays and kept my life separate from theirs. They're allowed to make their own decisions. The thing is," Dad says, "he's a little older than the kids we initially thought we'd work with." "How much older?" 30, Mom says. Blink. "You adopted a 30-year-old man." "Adult adoption is a real thing," Dad says defensively. "It's about creating legal family bonds, providing support and stability for people who need it. Age doesn't matter when it comes to needing a family." There's something rehearsed about the way he says it. Like he's been defending this decision to other people. Like he knows how it sounds. "Okay," I say again. My brain is struggling to catch up. "So you have a 30-year-old brother?" "I have a brother now." "Legally, yes," Mom says. "But we're not asking you to think of him that way if you don't want to. He's staying in the guest room." "Actually," Dad interrupts, That's something else we need to explain. The room tilts slightly. Or maybe that's just me. He's been having a really hard time adjusting, Mom says. Her hands are twisting together now, fingers knotting and unknotting. Nightmares, panic attacks. The guest room is right next to our bedroom and the walls are thin, and Dr. Shepard said he needs space where he can feel safe without worrying he's disturbing anyone. Dr. Shepard. They're taking him to therapy. They have a whole support system set up for this stranger. So we moved him into your room, Dad finishes. Just temporarily. You understand, right? You'll be in the guest room. It's still comfortable. You'll still have your privacy. My room. My room with the window seat where I used to read for hours. My room with the closet where I carved my initials when I was 10. My room with the ceiling I stared at on the nights when I couldn't sleep, when the weight of everything felt too heavy. You gave him my room. Temporarily, Mom repeats. And honey, you weren't living here. We didn't think. Who is he? The question comes out harder than I intended. They both flinch. His name is Ethan, Mom says softly. Ethan Cross. The world stops, not slows. Every sound cuts out. My heart forgets how to beat. Ethan Cross. The name I spent years trying to forget. The name that still makes my stomach clench. The name attached to every humiliation, every cruel laugh. Every day I came home from school and cried in the shower so my parents wouldn't hear. No, I say. Sweetheart. No, not him. Anyone but him. You remember him. Dad sounds genuinely surprised, like they're two different people. Like the Ethan they adopted could be some other person with the same name from a different timeline. Remember him. I want to laugh, but I'm afraid if I start I won't stop. He made my life hell, I say. My voice sounds distant, like it's coming from someone else. For 2 years. Every single day. That was a long time ago, Mom says. People change. He's changed. If you just gave him a chance. He's upstairs right now. In my room. Not. I stand up. My legs are shaking but they hold me. I need to see. Maybe wait until tomorrow, Dad suggests. Let everyone get adjusted. But I'm already moving toward the stairs. I take them 2 at a time the way I used to when I was young and this house was mine. My bedroom door is closed. There's a new sign on it, one of those wooden ones from a craft store. It says Ethan's Space with a painted peace symbol. I don't knock. Should maybe. It's his room now, apparently. But my hand is already on the doorknob, already turning it, already pushing the door open. The room looks wrong. My pale blue walls are now gray. My bookshelf is gone. There's a desk I don't recognize, a laptop I've never seen, clothes draped over my old chair. The bed is still in the same place, but it has different sheets. Dark blue plain. And sitting on the edge of that bed, looking up at me with an expression I can't read, is Ethan Cross. He's older. Course he is. 30 now, not 17. His face has lost some of its boyish cruelty, settled into something harder and more angular. He's thinner than I remember, or maybe just looks it in the oversized gray hoodie he's wearing. His hair is shorter. There are circles under his eyes. For a moment we just stare at each other. Then he says, in a voice that's quieter than I remember but still unmistakably his, "Hey, Emma." Like we're old friends. Like he's glad to see me. Like he didn't destroy me. I turn around and walk away before I say something I can't take back. Before I scream. Before I cry. My parents are at the bottom of the stairs, watching me with worried faces. "How could you?" ask. Comes out as a whisper. "We didn't know," Mom says. "Not at first. He didn't mention you, and Cross is a common name, and when we realized. You should have uninvited me. You should have told me not to come. This is your home," Dad insists. "No," I say. "It's not." I grab my suitcases from where I left them by the door. The garbage bag too. Everything I own in the world, and it fits in my arms. "Where are you going?" Mom's voice breaks. "Emma, please. We can work this out." But I'm already out the door, walking down the driveway, pulling my suitcases behind me like they're anchors. I don't have a plan. I don't have anywhere to go. But I can't be here. Not with him in my room. Not with my parents choosing him over me. I make it 3 blocks before I have to stop. My arms are shaking and my eyes are burning and I'm gasping for air like I've been underwater. I sit down on the curb and pull out my phone. The screen is cracked from when Connor threw it during our last fight. Half the apps don't work anymore. But I can still make calls. I scroll through my contacts, looking for anyone who might let me crash on their couch. Someone who won't ask too many questions about why I'm sitting on a street corner at 7:30 on a Tuesday evening with everything I own. The list is shorter than I want it to be. My phone buzzes. Text from Mom, please come back. We love you. We can figure this out. I stare at the message until the screen goes dark. Then I pick up my bags and keep walking. I end up at Jenny's. Jenny Peralta, who I haven't seen since our 5-year high school reunion. Who I only stayed connected with because neither of us bothered to unfriend each other on social media. I send her a message that's trying too hard to sound casual. Hey, random question, but are you still in town? Any chance I could crash at your place for a night or two? She responds in under a minute. Yes. I have so much wine and so many questions. Address is 447 Oleander Avenue, apartment 3B. Jenny's apartment is small and cheerful and absolutely nothing like my parents' house. There are plants everywhere, most of them alive. String lights hang across the ceiling. The walls are covered in photos and postcards and a tapestry that says, "Good vibes only," in swirling letters. She opens the door in pajama pants and an oversized sweatshirt, takes one look at me and pulls me inside. "You look like shit," she says. "Thanks. I mean it affectionately." She takes one of my suitcases. "What happened? Your message sounded weird." My life imploded. I moved back in with my parents, and it turns out they adopted my high school bully and gave him my bedroom. So I left. Jenny freezes halfway to the couch. "I'm sorry, what?" So I tell her. All of it. The job, Connor. Coming home expecting normalcy and finding Ethan Cross sitting on my bed like he belonged there. By the end, Jenny has poured us both very large glasses of wine. "Ethan Cross," she says slowly. "Ethan Cross who put that video of you online." I wince. I'd been hoping she wouldn't remember that specific detail. "Yeah. Ethan Cross who started that rumor about you and Mr. Pemberton." "Yep. Ethan Cross who literally made you cry in the cafeteria so many times they had to move your lunch period." "The very same." She drains half her wine in one gulp. "And your parents adopted him. Adult adoption, apparently. It's a thing. It's a thing for people who aren't sociopaths who tormented their daughter. They don't see it that way." I take a sip of my own wine. It's too sweet, but I drink it anyway. "They think he's changed. They think he needs help. They think I should be understanding." "What do you think?" I think about the way he looked at me. Not angry. Not mocking. Just tired. Resigned, maybe. Like he was expecting me to hate him and had already accepted it. "I think I can't be in the same house as him," I say finally. "I think if I have to see him every day, if I have to watch my parents care about him, I'll lose my mind." Jenny nods. "You can stay here as long as you need." "Mean it." My roommate moved out last month and I haven't found anyone to take her place yet, so there's a whole empty room. "I can't pay rent." "Not right now." "Then pay me when you can." "It's fine." "Seriously, Emma, I'm not going to kick you out." I feel tears prickling at the corners of my eyes. "Thank you." "Don't thank me. Just promise me you'll eventually let me meet this asshole so I can tell him what I think of him." I manage a weak laugh. "Deal." I sleep badly that night in Jenny's former roommate's room, on a mattress that's too soft and smells faintly of incense. I keep thinking about Ethan in my bed, surrounded by my things, except they're not my things anymore. They got rid of my stuff to make room for his. My phone keeps buzzing. More texts from Mom. Few from Dad. I don't read them. Around 3 in the morning, a number I don't recognize lights up my screen. I almost don't answer. But curiosity wins. "Hello, Emma." It's his voice. Ethan's voice. Don't hang up. Please. I should hang up. I should block his number and throw my phone out the window. Instead, I sit up in bed and say, "How did you get this number?" "Your mom. She thought." He trails off. "She thought maybe if we talked you'd come back." Then she's wrong. Silence. I can hear him breathing on the other end of the line. "I didn't know you were moving home," he says finally. "They didn't tell me. If I'd known." "You would have what? Left?" "Somehow I doubt that. I would have asked them to tell you. About me. Before you got here." "How generous." Another pause. Longer this time. "I know you hate me," he says. "I know I deserve it. But your parents are good people, and they're trying to help me, and I don't want to ruin that for them. You should have thought about that before you made my life a living hell. I was a kid. You were 17. I was 15. You knew exactly what you were doing." "You're right." His voice is flat. "I did. This surprises me. I expected denials, excuses. Not agreement. So why did you do it?" The question comes out before I can stop it. "What did I ever do to you?" He's quiet for so long I think he's hung up. Then, "Nothing. You didn't do anything. That's not how it works." "Then explain it to me. Make me understand." "I can't. Can't or won't." "Does it matter?" "Yes," I say. "It matters." He sighs. It's a heavy sound, weighted with something I can't name. "Go back to sleep, Emma. I'm sorry I called." "Wait." But he's already gone. I lie back down, staring at the ceiling, listening to the unfamiliar sounds of Jenny's apartment. Car passing outside. The hum of the refrigerator. My own heartbeat too fast, too loud. I don't sleep for the rest of the night. When I finally drag myself out of bed around 9, Jenny is in the kitchen making pancakes. "You look worse than yesterday," she observes cheerfully. "Coffee, please." She pours me a cup and slides it across the counter. "Your phone's been buzzing all morning." "I know. You gonna answer it?" "Eventually." She flips a pancake with practiced ease. "For what it's worth, I think you're handling this better than I would. I probably would have punched him. The night's still young." She grins. "That's the spirit." My phone buzzes again. This time it's a voicemail. I don't recognize the number, but it's local. I put it on speaker. "Hi Emma, this is Dr. Lisa Shepherd. I'm the therapist working with Ethan Cross. Your parents gave me your contact information. I hope that's all right. I was hoping we could set up a time to talk. I think it might be helpful for everyone involved if we could discuss the situation. Please call me back when you have a chance." She leaves her number and hangs up. "His therapist wants to talk to you," Jenny says. "It's not a question." "Apparently. Are you going to call her?" I stare at my phone. "I don't know. Maybe. She might have answers. Or she might try to convince you to forgive him." "Yeah, that too." Jenny slides a plate of pancakes in front of me. "Eat first. Make decisions later." It's good advice. I'm halfway through the stack when my phone rings again. Mom this time. I consider ignoring it, but Jenny gives me a pointed look. "Fine," I mutter and answer. "Hi, Mom." "Oh, thank God." "Emma, sweetheart, are you okay? Where are you staying?" "I'm fine. I'm with a friend." "Which friend?" "I'll come get you." "Mom, no. I'm not coming back. Not while he's there." "Emma." Her voice cracks. "We need to talk about this. Really talk. You can't just run away." "I'm not running away. I'm protecting myself." "From what?" "He's not going to hurt you. He's different now, I promise. If you would just give him a chance." "Did he tell you?" Question comes out sharp. "Did he tell you what he did to me?" She hesitates. "He told us there was some conflict between you two. Back in school." "Conflict." I laugh, and it sounds bitter even to my own ears. "That's one word for it. What would you call it?" "Torture." Systematic, deliberate torture for 2 solid years. Emma, that's not, you're exaggerating. Am I? Did he mention the time he convinced everyone I cheated on a test and got me suspended? Or the time he posted that edited photo of me online and I got called a slut for 6 months straight? Or the time he... Stop. Her voice is shaking. Please stop. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. Because it makes you question your decision. Because you're hurting, she says quietly. And I hate that you're hurting. But sweetheart, people change. He's not that person anymore. How do you know? Because I've spent the last 4 months with him. Because I've seen how hard he's working in therapy. How much he regrets his past. Because I know what it looks like when someone is genuinely trying to be better. And what if you're wrong? What if he's just good at pretending? Then I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. Close my eyes. Why him, Mom? Out of everyone in the world who needs help, why did you choose him? We didn't choose him. He came to us. Through a program at church. Wait. He went to you. Well, not specifically. But he was in the program and we were looking to foster, and it seemed like a good match. A good match, I repeat numbly. He didn't know you were our daughter at first. Not until after the paperwork was already filed. And by then you were already attached. She doesn't deny it. I feel something cracking inside me. Some last piece of hope that maybe this was all a misunderstanding, that maybe my parents would choose me over him if I just explained it right. I have to go, I say. Emma. Hang up. Jenny is watching me carefully. You okay? He went to them. He specifically went to my parents. That seems suspicious. Right. There are hundreds of foster programs in this city. Hundreds of families. And somehow he ends up with mine. Maybe it really was a coincidence. Or maybe he's still messing with me. Just in a different way. Jenny chews her bottom lip. What are you going to do? I think about Dr. Shepard's voicemail. About the answers she might have. I'm going to call his therapist, I say. And then I'm going to figure out what the hell is actually going on. Dr. Shepard's office is in a medical plaza on the east side of town, sandwiched between a dentist and a physical therapy clinic. The waiting room is aggressively calming. Soft gray walls, abstract art, a white noise machine humming in the corner. I'm 10 minutes early. I spend them scrolling through my phone, not really reading anything, just trying to keep my hands busy. At exactly 3 o'clock, the door opens and a woman in her 50s emerges. She's wearing a cardigan and glasses on a beaded chain, the kind of person who looks like she's never raised her voice in her life. Emma. I'm Dr. Shepard. Thank you so much for coming. Her office is more of the same. Comfortable furniture, tissue boxes strategically placed, a desk with a framed photo of 2 golden retrievers. Can I get you anything? Water, tea? I'm fine. She settles into the chair across from me, crossing her legs. I imagine this situation has been very difficult for you. That's one way to put it. I want to be clear about my role here, she says. I'm Ethan's therapist, which means my primary obligation is to him. But I also think it's important for everyone involved to have accurate information and a chance to process what's happening. Did my parents ask you to convince me to come home? They asked me to talk to you. What you do with that conversation is entirely up to you. Lean back. So talk. She studies me for a moment. How much do you know about Ethan's current circumstances? I know my parents adopted him. I know he's in my room. That's about it. And what do you remember about him? From before? Everything. I remember everything he did to me. She nods slowly. Ethan has been very open about his past behavior. He spent considerable time in therapy working through the harm he caused, particularly to you. Good for him. I'm not trying to diminish your pain, she says gently. What he did was wrong. Cruel even. But I do think it's important you understand that the person he was then and the person he is now are not the same. People keep saying that. But I'm supposed to just take everyone's word for it. No, you're not supposed to do anything. But I can tell you what I know if you're willing to hear it. Cross my arms. Fine. She reaches for a notepad, then seems to think better of it and leaves it on the side table. Ethan came to me about 6 months ago. He was living in a shelter at the time, struggling with addiction and severe depression. He'd lost his job, his apartment, most of his relationships. He was, by his own admission, at rock bottom. I try to feel sympathy and come up empty. He started attending group therapy at the shelter, she continues. That's where he began to confront the things he'd done in his past, the people he'd hurt. It wasn't easy for him. He went through a period of intense guilt and self-loathing. Again, good for him. One of the assignments in group therapy was to make a list of people he'd harmed and think about how he might make amends. Your name was at the top of his list. This catches me off guard. What? He talked about you often. About how his behavior toward you represented the worst of who he'd been. He said that if he could undo anything in his life, it would be the way he treated you. Then why didn't he apologize? Why didn't he reach out? Because he didn't think he had the right. He thought, and I agreed, that contacting you might cause more harm than good. That you deserved to move on without him intruding on your life. So instead he just moved in with my parents. He didn't know they were your parents. Not until after the adoption process was already underway. And when he found out, he hesitates. He wanted to back out. He told your parents the truth about your history. They decided to move forward anyway. This stops me cold. They knew. They knew he bullied me and they still adopted him. They believed, and I agreed, that people deserve second chances. That healing is possible, even from serious harm. What about my healing? Did anyone think about that? Your parents believed you were settled in Portland, that you'd moved on. They didn't anticipate you coming home. Well, I did. And now what? Dr. Shepard leans forward slightly. Now you have choices. You can stay away, maintain distance, protect yourself. That's completely valid. Or you can engage with this situation, see for yourself who Ethan is now. Maybe find some closure for what happened before. You're advocating for the second option. I'm advocating for whatever helps you feel whole. But I do think there might be value in talking to him. Directly. Not for his sake, for yours. I stand up. I think we're done here. Emma. Thank you for your time, Dr. Shepard. But I'm not interested in helping Ethan feel better about his past. He doesn't get to have closure at my expense. I'm at the door when she speaks again. He's dying. Freeze. What? Ethan. He has stage 4 liver disease. Cirrhosis from years of alcohol abuse. He's on the transplant list, but his chances aren't good. The doctors gave him maybe a year. That's why he was in the shelter. That's why he reached out to the foster program. He was trying to make things right before it's too late. I turn around slowly. She's watching me with careful eyes. Did my parents know this when they adopted him? Yes. The room tilts. So they took in a dying man. They gave him my room and my place in the family because he's dying. They gave him a place to spend whatever time he has left in stability and care. They thought that was the right thing to do. The right thing, I echo. What about what's right for me? I can't answer that. But I can tell you that holding on to anger toward someone who won't be here much longer. That's a heavy burden to carry. I leave without another word. Outside the sun is too bright. The air is too warm. Everything feels surreal, like I've stepped into someone else's life. Ethan is dying. My bully, my tormentor, the person who made me want to disappear, is dying. And my parents want me to forgive him before he does. I sit in my car for 20 minutes, hands on the steering wheel, trying to breathe. Then I pull out my phone and dial the number from last night. He answers on the second ring. Emma, you're dying. Long pause. Dr. Shepard told you. Were you going to? Eventually. Maybe. I don't know. Is that why you went to my parents? Because you wanted somewhere comfortable to die? No. I went to them because I needed help and they were offering it. I didn't know they were your parents until later. And when you found out, I should have left. I know that. But I was selfish and scared, and they were the first people in years who treated me like I mattered, so I stayed. His voice is steady, resigned. Like he's already accepted whatever I'm about to say to him. I don't forgive you, I tell him. I want you to know that. Whatever happens, however this ends, I don't forgive you. I know. I don't even feel sorry for you. You shouldn't. So why are you telling me all this? Because you asked. Because you deserve the truth. Because I'm tired of lying, Emma. I'm tired of pretending to be better than I am. Close my eyes. Are you better than you were? I don't know. I'm trying. That's the best I can give you. I want to hang up. I want to scream at him. I want to go back in time and never answer his call in the first place. Instead, I say, I'm coming over tomorrow. To the house. We're going to talk. Really talk. And then I'm going to decide whether I can handle being around you or if I need to cut my parents out of my life completely. Okay. And Ethan. Yeah. If you're lying to me, if any of this is some kind of game, I will make sure everyone knows exactly who you are. I will ruin whatever sympathy you've built up. Do you understand? I understand. I hang up before he can say anything else. Then I drive back to Jenny's apartment, walk inside, and finally let myself cry. I don't sleep that night either. Instead, I lie in the dark and let myself remember. I spent years trying not to. Years building walls around those memories, tucking them away in boxes labeled high school, or before, or ancient history. Years telling myself it didn't matter anymore, that I was past it, that I'd grown into someone stronger. But strength built on denial isn't really strength. It's just better scaffolding around the same broken foundation. So I remember. Freshman year. I'm 15 and still believe the world is mostly good. The first time Ethan Cross notices me, I think it might be the beginning of something nice. He's 17, a junior, and objectively attractive in that careless way teenage boys sometimes are. Messy hair, easy smile, the kind of confidence that comes from never doubting your place in the social hierarchy. We're in the library. I'm struggling with algebra homework at one of the corner tables, and he sits down across from me without asking. You're Emma, right? He knows my name. I don't know why he knows my name. Yeah. You're in my sister's grade. She talks about you sometimes. I don't know he has a sister. I don't know anything about him except that he plays basketball and that people seem to like him. Cool, I say, because I don't know what else to say. He leans forward looking at my homework. That problem's wrong. What? Points. Right there. You divided when you should have multiplied. Check. He's right. Oh, thanks. No problem. He stands up, grabbing his backpack. Then, almost as an afterthought, you should probably figure out math though. You look like the kind of person who's supposed to be smart. It takes me 3 hours to realize that might have been an insult. The second time I'm walking to class and someone shoves a note through the slats in my locker. It's on lined notebook paper, folded into a small square. My name is written on the outside in unfamiliar handwriting. Open it. I think you're cute. Wanna hang out sometime? E. My heart does something stupid. E. There are a lot of people whose names start with E, but I let myself imagine it's him. Ethan. The junior with the easy smile who helped me with homework. I spend the whole day in a kind of giddy haze, imagining what hanging out might look like. Where we'd go. What we'd talk about. After school, I'm at my locker when I hear laughing behind me. I turn around. Ethan is there with 3 of his friends, all of them grinning. Did you get my note? He asks. Yeah. Did you like it? I mean, yeah.